took 3 months or so trying to convince him to do the documentary. The failure prior is what prepared me for that, because when I tried to do the TV show, I had to see a lot of companies, do a lot of proposals, do a lot of meetings, and people would tell you, oh, I'm not in the office, call me next week. Or the board is not meeting until, they only meet after 3 months, so call me then. So that sort of gave me a certain level of endurance or persistence, I want to say. It prepared me for that. I remember I sold my car at the time, which was a present from my mom. I sort of put it into this TV show idea, and it just didn't work. So I would say that's a major failure that did shape even what I'm doing now, because the Kambole documentary is just basically a reframe of that TV show idea. Most people think the creative space is separate from the business space, but they should go together. I think having experience from both sides has sort of informed the creative that I am. So obviously I am thinking about the technical side of the creativity, but then I'm also thinking of, okay, how can we capitalize this? How can we market this? So it sort of blends together in that way. I think there's a temptation to focus on the latest equipment, the best camera, the best lighting. But at the end of the day, most people don't really care about that. It's just the story, right? So use what you have to make the most of it and do the best you can.
Quick one, before we go any further, please remember to like and to subscribe and to share. And I promise to bring you the best and most valuable content. Hi Kambole, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm okay. How's your day going?
It's okay, it's all good. Just having a little rest after some intense work. Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get into that into more details.
Cool.
The first time I came across your work, I think you came to my workplace with Pompi.
Yeah.
I think that was my first time meeting Pompi in person.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think from there, I just love your story and how you're promoting everything. Pole, of course, we'll get into more details later. Yeah, but I was really fascinated the effort that you had put in. Even when I came to see, when me and our team came to see the documentary, we were just like, this is wonderful. Yeah, and it was just like, let everything just settle down. Then I'll invite Kambole to come and talk about it.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I'm really glad to have you and can't wait to get into the conversation.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming to support the documentary, by the way.
No, you're welcome. That stuff is important. And I know that, like, I kind of have a bit knowledge of what goes into just making something come up, you know, to have a solid product and have to bring everybody together. I mean, that's a lot of work. So that's really good.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I want to take you back now. How was it like growing up? What were you interested in?
Growing up, I would say I was very athletic. So I was interested in sports. So I used to do track. I used to play football and a bit of rugby and basketball.
That.
So I was very
athletic. Yeah. Okay, where did you grow up from?
I grew up. So we moved a lot. We moved quite a bit. So I was born on the Copper Belt in Luansha specifically. But we lived in Kasama, we lived in Dola, we lived in Muflira and Kitwe before coming to Lusaka. Even then, we did move quite a bit.
In Lusaka.
Lived in like Ibex and North Meads, McKinney, Charleston. Wow. Even in Charleston, I remember we moved like 4 times. So,
the same area.
I moved quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I would say home was definitely Avondale. That's what I would call home. Yeah.
Is it that I don't know who you grew up with, like they were changing jobs, or how was that?
Yeah, my dad used to change jobs a lot, so we had to move a lot.
Did you see yourself being in the creative field?
Not at all. Not at all. There's no one I can point to in my family who's like in a creative space. My family is more from a business background, so I never saw myself being in this field at all. It was a happy accident.
The happy accident.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So being a kid, when you got to school, what kind of child were you? Like an introvert? Was it that kid in the corner reading books and what was that like?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Some people call me a nerd. I don't think I am. I was extroverted. just because I used to do stuff that, sort of put me out there, right? So the sports, I used to dance as well. I love dancing. So things like that sort of put me out. But at the core, I've always been an introvert.
Like, what were you like playing when it comes to play? Like, what was that like? What were you doing?
I would usually, hang with my friends. Like I said, I was very athletic, so I would play football a lot. We also like playing games, video games. I didn't have a video game, but I had friends that had video games.
Yeah.
So I used to play a lot of video games, watch movies as well. Power Rangers, whatever. That sort of thing. So yeah, that was my childhood basically. Just lots of athletics, lots of football, lots of movies and cartoons.
Yeah. And in class, how were the grades like? Because it's also like sports.
Yeah.
Because there's always this thing in society, like if you love sports so much, then it means you're not doing so well on this other side.
Yeah.
Like,
no, in that case, I'd probably be unique in the sense that I did quite well in school. Especially when I was younger.
Especially when I was younger.
when I got to secondary school, I became a bit more playful. But yeah, my grades did pick up eventually. But yeah, I generally did okay in school.
When it now came time to, of course, when you finish your grade 12, you pass. How was that conversation like when it came to make the decision to go to uni?
Oh, okay. So I always admired people that wanted to know, that knew what they wanted to do when they finished school, right? I had no idea what I wanted to do, even when I finished school. So after I finished my grade 12, I started watching a lot of series. One of my favorite series at the time was The Mentalist, if you've heard of it, or Lie to Me. So it was lots of like psychology and that sort of thing. So I thought, let me do psychology. But coming from an African home, that was definitely not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I ended up studying economics initially and then business. So
you're encouraged to say, okay, you can't do psychology.
No, you can't do psychology.
Like, what are you gonna
psychology?
do?
Like, what is that?
Yeah.
So yeah, my dad, just advised me to do something business related. He is an economist, or he did study economics. So I was then also sort of inspired to study economics, which I started studying, but then I figured it wasn't what I wanted to do. So I ended up switching to business management. So that's how I ended up doing business management and advanced from there.
I was looking at your LinkedIn, and you've done like 4
the one I've never updated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've gone like to 4 institutions so far.
Yeah.
Like, how is that like switching from? Like, I mean, it takes a lot of energy to study all those things. Like
it does. Yeah, people think I love school. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 institutions.
Yeah. I don't necessarily love school, but I do love learning. It's just unfortunate in the sort of system we're in. For you to learn, you sort of have to be in a formal institution, formal setup. But the reason I've been to so many institutions is because I did a foundation program at one university, and then I did my degree at a different college, and then I did my master's at a different university, and then I interestingly went to film school, so I also did that at a different university.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up going to all those places.
What's your next one now?
Officially, I tell people I'm done with school, but yeah, you never know.
You never know. You might find another interesting subject.
I am thinking of doing a master's degree in film, maybe marketing communications as well. So you never know.
So those are like 2 things: film, marketing, and communication. Yeah. No, that's good. I think it's always important to be curious. I think you're also like a curious person, isn't it? Because you want to know like the details of whatever goes on that particular subject.
Yeah.
So now, getting all these degrees and going to different institutions, how does that shape your creative work?
I think, again, I would say that privileged to sort of have knowledge and experience from both fields. Most people think the creative space is separate from the business space, but they should go together. And I think having experience from both sides has sort of informed the creative that I am. So obviously I am thinking about the technical side of the creativity, but then I'm also thinking of, okay, how can we capitalize this? How can we market this? So it sort of blends together in that way.
Because you're also like the founder of Purple Studios. So even that balance, because you can't just be a creative, you know how to shoot videos, you know how to shoot photos. There's also the business side. So you need to balance that as well. I'm sure that has been helpful, right?
It has been helpful, yeah. It's I know that a lot of creatives, when they're starting out, they're thinking about how can I be the best creative person I can be? How can I be the best photographer or filmmaker or whatever? But then if you're choosing it as a career, you obviously have to make an income from it. You have to make a living. And creatives now often find that they are stuck on, how do I find clients? How do I build on this? How do I build a brand? So yeah, you do have to have knowledge of the business side of things as well.
Yeah, especially that the industry is also becoming like saturated with anyone who picks up the camera. I mean, can be a photographer and frame themselves to be a photographer. So it's really, I think it's really a good thing to have something on the business side as well, because not a lot of people, creatives, are good at that. You need to know how to market yourself. You need to know how to put yourself out there. You need to know how to charge clients so that you charge fairly and all those things, and balance the books, know how to pay your team, all those things. I think I think that's one unique ability that you need to have, definitely. Now let's talk of failure. What is one failure that taught you something very pivotal?
Just one.
There's so many. Okay, spread them out for me. Give them.
No, I mean, I can focus on probably one of the major ones. At the time I was just getting into university. No, actually, at the time I was finishing university, my first degree. I read a book by John C. Maxwell. It's called Talent is Never Enough. And so basically what the book says is, that talent is not enough. If talent is enough, then why do you and I know highly talented people who are not highly successful? So that gave me an idea to do a TV show where I, go on a journey, speak to people who inspire me, to see what they added on to that talent in order for them to become successful. So, I started approaching people, different media houses, script writers, that sort of thing. The people I was approaching obviously needed me to, pay them upfront for their services, which I understand. A lot of creatives have been, I would say, done wrong in the past, so they were very adamant about being paid upfront for their services. And so I was just entering, my first job at the time, and the little income I was making, I sort of put it into, this TV show idea. And it just didn't work. I remember I sold my car at the time, which was a present, which was a present from my mom for, finishing college. So I had to sell that car in order to raise income to pay the script writer and the media house. So it just didn't work out, and I ended up, having to put the idea on the shelf and go back to school. In fact, that was the motivation for going back to school, because I'd sold my car and invested in this dream, and it didn't work out, and I needed something to show for that failure. So I ended up going to school. So I would say that's a major failure that did shape even what I'm doing now, because the Pole Pole documentary is just basically a reframe of that TV show idea. So it definitely taught me, number one, that you need to leverage off of friendships you can't do something big alone, right? It would take you so much longer to do it on your own. And there's just certain strengths that you may not have, or certain weaknesses that you have that other people could sort of cover you. So yeah, that was a huge failure on my part, but it did eventually work out for me. Yeah.
So I'm sure it has even taught you how to handle failure in a better way than before, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Sort of, you know, like pitching and seeing sponsors and that sort of thing. There's lots of rejection you face. So that process did sort of prepare me for future. Yeah.
Now, what inspired you to work with Pompi and work on the documentary Pole Pole?
So I talked about the TV show, right?
Yeah.
The first guest that we had was Pompi. He was the first person to agree to come on the show. And the pilot, we didn't shoot it once, we shot it twice. And he came both times.
Wow.
So that was just really humbling for me because, you know, at the time, that's when he was just coming off of Miju and Broken English. And he was probably the biggest artist in the country, right? Yeah. And for him to agree to come on the TV show, this unknown person that's never done anything before, was very humbling. And obviously I was a fan of his music as well. And even outside the music, some of the things he was doing on the business end, the brand building and endorsements and that sort of thing. So I would say that's what inspired me to work with him.
Now, looking back at the pilot show you shot with Pompi in 2015, so how did that set the stage for the story now, Pole Pole, of course?
You know, interestingly, Steve Jobs, I remember watching one of his commencement speeches, and he said that the dots don't connect looking forward; they connect looking backward. So even just contrasting with my journey, at the time when the TV show didn't work, I was obviously, you know, very, very sad about it. I felt like, you know, I had a story that I wanted to share with people that could possibly inspire them or that sort of thing. So I was questioning why it didn't work. But what I didn't know was that it was setting the stage for the documentary. So after I finished my master's, must have been 2019, I thought, you know, I'm done with school, right? But 3 months later, I was back in school at Open Window. So I started my film school, and in our final year, we have to do an on-choice project. So I decided to do a documentary, but I didn't know who the documentary was going to be on. And so I remember being on Twitter, scrolling, and I can't remember who, but there was, you know, a Zambian who was just basically ranting, right? Saying that Zambians don't dream big enough, right? So I remember that I was obviously inclined to agree with it, right? When you look at some of the areas where we're lacking behind, it does feel like, you know, people are not working, people are not dreaming. But then I remember that I knew Pompi and some of the ambitions he had and that sort of thing. And, you know, I realized, you know what, Zambians do dream big enough. And so I decided to do the documentary on Pompi.
Is it that you knew Pompi before the first show which failed?
Not entirely. So I was helping out a friend of mine, a friend and mentor of mine. His name is Stephen Mwale. He used to run a company called Retunes. So there was a music promotion and distribution company. So through that, I did get to meet some of these artists, but I was always the person in the background, in the corner. So I did interact with him here and there, but I wouldn't say I knew him or he didn't know me. Yeah. So, okay. But yeah.
So after the show failed, did you keep that relationship or?
Yes, but not entirely. So, you know, even though we did have prior connection, I still had to convince him. I still had to. I remember it took 3 months or so trying to convince him to do the documentary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So the prior experience didn't necessarily play too much into that. Yeah.
Okay, that's 3 months.
3 months.
I think I would have just tried once and just like
yeah. But you see, the failure prior is what prepared me for that, because when I tried to do the TV show, I had to see a lot of companies, do a lot of proposals, do a lot of meetings, and people will tell you, "Oh, I'm not in the office, call me next week," or the board is not meeting until they only meet after 3 months, so call me then. So that sort of gave me a certain level of endurance or persistence, I want to say. So yeah, it prepared me for that.
Fast forwards to this year, 2025. How does it feel like? So it first aired in 2024, right? Let's December? Was it
in 2024? 24th November.
24th November.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But that was an unofficial launch. It was just a private screening for friends and family and a few sponsors here and there, because that day was his birthday. So we thought, let's sort of make a thing out of it and use it as a focus group for how people would react to this documentary. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So after you did that first one, did you have to like tweak anything, change anything, or reshoot some of the stuff?
We initially had planned to, but then because of the reaction that people had to it, we figured, let's just leave it as it is. Let's not mess with the integrity of the story. Yeah. So we pretty much left it as is. We did change a few minor scenes or like B-roll here and there, but the story basically remained the same.
How did that feel, like seeing all these people coming to support, to show up? I remember you booked, is it two screening rooms? I don't. Yeah. Like seeing people show up. How did that feel? Like looking back at all the failures.
It was unreal. It was validating, but it was surprising, because honestly, I didn't think people would. I mean, who goes to the cinema to watch a documentary? I wouldn't. Before that, I don't think I would have gone to the cinema to watch a documentary. So it was very humbling. Yeah. Just grateful obviously to people for coming to support the documentary. So
this is called Do It. Don't just talk here. Yeah.
Literally do it.
Yeah, we do that. You literally do it. Yeah. So right now we're gonna jump into the project Pole Pole.
Okay.
Just gonna take us behind the scene, what the concept was like how coming up with the team, editing, getting everybody together.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, so we're just gonna watch the trailer first, and then of course we're gonna go into the conversation of how you went about creating the entire documentary. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, come on, let's do the
Check 1, 2. Y'all know it's stupid to battle me, but some do.
When he came back, that's when we confronted him with the music, and he says, yes, I was doing music, but I was scared to tell you.
It was quite a disappointment for both of us, my wife and I, when he told us his intentions. It deflated us so much.
I don't think it's even the role of parents to pick a person's purpose. It's God who defines their purpose.
Yeah, this is really interesting. So pre-production, which is the scripting and everything. How was it like planning for this?
Yeah. So I think the main, because it's documentary, right? So you can't really script it per se, but you can sort of have themes you want to address, and then see where you end up, if that makes sense. Or at least that's the approach we took. I know that there's more technical and more refined ways to do it. So I think the main part of the pre-production would be just research. I did a lot of research on Pompi, obviously because I had known him or known of him for, I want to say 10 years or so. I sort of had ideas for things, for milestones, for certain maybe controversies or whatever had happened. And so I prepared a list of questions to ask, and we addressed those things, and then we try and stitch them together. But like, for the most part, like I knew a lot of the B-roll would use and things like that just from mostly research. That was the major part of the pre-production. Obviously, there is the sourcing of equipment, the cameras and the lighting, the sound. Also, who would be part of the crew to film. I knew that I would edit, or I thought, I was going to edit everything. So yeah, I got two of my friends to help me. Augustine Lungu, who's interestingly son of the former late Augustine Lungu Sr.
Yeah.
He used to work on movie TV. And my friend Gavin Ngosa. So my entry into the creative space was working for a media house, mostly filming events, weddings. So Gavin is someone I met from there and then sort of built a friendship. So and then so I started to do the initial editing of it. And then I had Kasashi Musonda, who helped with, I want to say, the initial first draft, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The initial finding some of the scenes and, and then Chimonya Ngoma, who also an open window, is, I always say, my favorite graphic designer. But she's also an editor as well. So she did do all the collateral, like the visual identity of the documentary, but then also together we did the final edit of it. And then the color grading and sound editing was done by Director Law.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
One of my heroes, I'd say. So yeah, he did the color grading and the sound editing. And yeah, I had other people like my friend Vincent Mwenya, who also helped film some of the scenes we did, some of the interviews. We also had my friend Mubanga Kawe, or Umubanga Media.
Yeah, Mubanga Media.
So Mubanga is, he basically helped with most of the, I want to say, producing, logistics, equipment, that sort of thing. A lot of the equipment we used was his. So at the time we were filming this documentary, I didn't have any single equipment at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, through friends like Mubanga, were able to make this documentary.
Yeah. Friendship is really important. Yeah,
it's super important.
Yeah. No, I also have like friends that help me out in terms of like sometimes equipment. Sometimes you want to shoot something and then you don't have equipment. But through that friendship, you're able to say, "Oh, can I use some of your equipment?" Yeah, and we do that all the time. Like, bro, I have a project that I need to work on. Can I use your lens? Can I use this? I need this specific lens. I need this specific camera. And so like that, you're able to share and you're able to grow. I think collaboration is really important. I remember when I was growing up, like I would see people like who would edit videos. Like I knew some people, but just for them to help you out, it was it was really difficult. So I do understand the power of helping out other people and believing in them and whatever they're trying to create. Okay, so now when it comes to, of course, you face challenges. What challenges did you face during production?
During production, one of them was equipment. So obviously that was resolved through friendships like Mwanga. There's also I want to say he's probably a legend. He's definitely a legend in the film space. So Bezario Mwanza of SFE Productions. That's the company that I worked for. My first introduction into the film space. So he also did help out with equipment as well. So first challenge, equipment. I think equipment and logistics sort of go together. That was a challenge. Time was also a big challenge, not just on our side, but also on Pompi's side. Obviously, you know, he's a successful artist with lots of shows and tours and that sort of thing. In fact, when we were filming the documentary was when he was doing his international tour.
Oh, yeah.
So
catching him
was definitely a challenge. When Pompi is in like album mode or like it's hard to catch him. Yeah. So that was definitely a challenge. Time also, because even though I was a student, I was also in a full-time job. So getting the time to, you know, find, you know, to film,
to edit, to get everything together.
That was definitely a challenge as well. But even just what to do, how to approach distribution, just the whole, you know, it's the first project of its kind. It's the first full-length feature film documentary on a Zambian artist.
Yeah.
So even just like people didn't know how to treat it, right?
Yeah.
So that was a challenge in just convincing people that this is something worth.
Oh yeah, especially if you're starting out. Yeah,
exactly. You don't have a track record. Nobody really knows you. So just what sort of quality is this thing going to have, or will people come watch it? You know, that was definitely a challenge. But yeah, we're here.
Here we are now. Yeah. So now, what creative choices were made in how Pompi's story was told?
Creative choices. I think the first one was to not influence the story, but have the story play out on its own. I think that was definitely an important choice. Also in how we approached it, right? So the main concept or the main idea behind the documentary is to have two storylines, right? We have the storyline of the moments leading up to the launch of the album, but then also have his life story play out. So initially, the way I'd set it up was to have, you know, the storyline of the leading up to the launch be at the forefront, right? The second creative choice we made with the documentary was the theme of it, right? The main storyline was to have the moments leading up to the launch of the documentary be at the forefront, and then have his life story sort of as the minor theme. But we sort of flip that around and have his life story be the main storyline, just because the life story in and of itself shows a journey, right? So that speaks to the theme of Pole Pole. I would say that. And then also just having a lot of, I want to say, B-roll, a lot of moments from the past
that's really
to also guide the storyline. You know, in film school, they'll tell you, show, don't tell, right? So instead of showing people, telling people what Pole Pole is, we sort of let the moments themselves explain it. So even the documentary, like if you watch it and don't really pay attention, you might miss exactly what Pole Pole is. But the journey from his childhood to where he is now sort of shows that.
So if you could redo any part of the process, what would it be?
I think I would say get help sooner. You know, being an introvert, not wanting to bother anyone. You sort of want to take a lot of the heavy lifting on yourself. But that just slows down the process. So I think I would have gotten help sooner. But I think I would leave everything as is, because that's what led to what it is now. To what it is,
So I'm sure on your next documentary, I'm sure you've carried a lot of lessons.
I've told everyone we worked with that for the next one, I am not doing any of the admin stuff. I am not doing any of the marketing stuff, which I love. I'm not doing any of the editing. I mostly want to focus on the directing of it and just like the story itself. Hopefully I can have the luxury to do that.
Of course.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
All right, Kambole. I know we could dig into a lot of things on the documentary, but thanks for the project breakdown. And now back to our conversation just to wrap it up.
Cool.
Thank you for the project breakdown. Of course, you talked about using limited resources, using whatever that you had. What advice would you give to a filmmaker who's just starting out with limited resources?
I think that would be the first thing. Use what you have. Use what you have. I think there's a temptation to focus on like the latest equipment, the best camera, the best lighting. But at the end of the day, most people don't really care about that. It's just the story, right? So use what you have to make the most of it and do the best you can. Another one would be to just leverage on friendships, leverage on connections, leverage on, oh, maybe I can have you do this for me and I can, do something for you in return. Maybe we can exchange services or whatever, but whatever you can, just leverage the friendships and opportunities you have. But I think another one would just be like mindset, just to believe in yourself and believe in your story. I think to this day, there isn't a temptation to sort of underplay what we had managed to achieve, right? Because at the end of the day, nobody really cares, right? It doesn't really change anyone's life or whatever. But your story is valid. Your story will make a difference. It will impact someone. There are people who, I didn't expect, I knew that the documentary would make people feel a certain way, but we didn't expect tears. We didn't expect people crying in the cinema, right? So if I had listened to my initial thoughts, wouldn't have done this documentary, because I thought, no one really cares. No one really, it won't really make an impact or whatever. So just believe in your story and it will resonate with someone. Even if the whole world doesn't hear it, but if 2 or 3 people are impacted by it, then you would have done your job. And this applies not just to film, but to literally anything. Right? Life. Maybe your designs, maybe your music, maybe your story, like your writing, whatever it is, just put it out there.
One mindset helped you bounce back after the early disappointments. What is that mindset?
I don't like to take credit for it. I think it's just the way that God made me. But I think one of the best definitions I've heard of passion is that it's like a fire that's burning inside, right? And the only time that fire doesn't burn is when you're doing what you're meant to be doing. So I think not even out of my own volition, but just the desire to have this story put out there kept me up at night, right? So I had no choice but to just make it happen. That makes sense,
So what's the role of faith in your life or in your journey?
The role of faith. I think, it's basically just, believing in something even if you haven't seen it. And I think a large part of creativity is that you have an idea, a concept for something. You haven't really seen it. It hasn't really manifested. It's in your mind. So you have to believe in something you haven't seen. So faith just helps you keep going. It helps you manifest something because you believe that the thing exists even before it's out there.
Kambole, thank you so much. And now to wrap it up, it's time for the rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So no long sentences, no paragraphs, just short answers. Are you ready?
I hope so.
Favorite movie of all time?
Oh, it's always hard to choose. I don't think I have a favorite, but I do have certain movies that I watch every year. Yeah.
Name some.
Okay, so
or just one of them.
Okay. I watch the Avatar, Last Airbender, every year. Batman, the trilogy, Inception. Yeah, just to name a few.
That's a lot of favorites. Okay, a filmmaker that deeply inspires you.
Again, there's a couple, but I'll say Christopher Nolan.
Oh, Christopher Nolan. Yeah, one of the people that whose work I admire as well. Your go-to gear for shooting.
Go-to gear. Oh, yeah, I don't want to start a war. But, I'd say Canon.
Canon. Okay.
But I'm moving to Sony very soon.
Yeah, come to Sony. I mean.
No, actually, I'm just waiting for it to get here. So
okay.
Officially, I have moved to
Sony. Yeah. No. Good thing, my guy. Welcome. A quote that keeps you going. A quote that keeps you going.
There's a couple, but I'll say one day, one time. That's something my uncle always likes saying. I didn't really make sense of it until I had to, until the documentary. Yeah. So one day, one time, it will happen. Time and chance happen to them all.
If you weren't a filmmaker, what would you be doing?
Probably what I'm already doing right now. So obviously the film and photography. And
okay, let's remove okay, if you weren't a filmmaker and a photographer, what would you be doing?
I would probably be doing something in marketing, which I am doing to a sense. But I also believe this is probably very weird, but I believe I could have been a chiropractor in another life.
Oh, a chiropractor. Okay. Why a chiropractor?
I don't know. It's just the sound of bones.
Do you crack your fingers a lot?
Fingers, my neck.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a chiropractor?
I haven't.
Oh, you
Sadly,
haven't?
I haven't, but it's on my to-do list.
Yeah, I went there last year.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
Yeah, it was nice, like hearing like some of your bones crack that have never moved before. Yeah. Sometimes it's scary because sometimes they put like a towel on your neck and then they pull it like wow. And then they bend you, they put you in different directions. Yeah. It's quite interesting though. Yeah.
Was it painful?
No, it's not painful. Yeah. But you just hear like they put you in a certain position, then they crack your bones, like you hear that crack. Yeah. It's relieving. It feels really nice. Yeah.
It's I can't explain it, but just it's amazing.
That feel. Oh, nice. Yeah. No, there's a place called Lusaka Chiropractor. Yeah. I think it's along Addis Ababa Road. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Should visit them.
Yeah, no. We'll chat about that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Kambole, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Where can people find your work? Online.
People can find the documentary.
Or connect with you.
Yeah. People can connect with me on social media, Facebook, Instagram. I'm not really on Twitter or X anymore, but yeah, so Kambole Chongo everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, but for the documentary specifically, it is up on our website on polepolenation.net. So
showing right here.
Check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah, make sure you check it out.
Yeah.
And anything interesting that you're working on? Of course, you've done the documentary. I know you're still marketing, but there's something that you're working on, or
the $1 million question.
Yeah.
I will say, I can't really say what, but I will say that we are in pre-production for another documentary.
Can't wait. Next year, this year? Oh no, not timeless.
No timeless.
Okay. All right. We'll be excited to see that. Yeah. You let me know when it's about to come out.
No problem. Definitely. I'll definitely let you know.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kambole, for coming through. I really enjoyed this conversation, just to see that went through into you creating that documentary.
Yeah.
Your journey as well is truly inspiring, and just shows persistent and the power of perseverance. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This is my first time being on a podcast. So you were really gracious. So yeah, thank you so much.
No, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Awesome.
All right, let's do it. Okay, and that's a wrap.